really is the week, though, where we hear so much about breakups and brutality, obviously the Simpson case being the most notorious. But did you know that there was a civil trial against the pop soul singer Rick James that ended just last Friday, in which he serving time now criminally for having brutalized the woman we'll just call Mary, his girlfriend or friend, however you want to describe it. We have some photographs. I don't know, do you have the photographs ready? If you do, show them, because Mary is waiting backstage. She's too really hurt and frail. Okay, here is the picture of the woman. There are several photographs. What Rick James was convicted, along with his fiancée, of doing to her was a real brutal job. Okay, I'm backstage now. Here is Mary. She's just, as I mentioned, been very successful in the civil court in getting a judgment against Rick James. Before I ask you what happened, Mary, tell us exactly what the court has awarded you.
$1.8 million.
Okay. Do you think that will compensate you for those terrible injuries we've now seen?
That's hard to say.
Okay. Tell us what happened. Can you briefly recount what happened? You were in the house. He was there with his fiancée, the person who was convicted alongside him. You started with an altercation with her. Tell us what happened.
The three of us were having a conversation, and there was a misunderstanding or disagreement. Something I had said she didn't like, whereas she stood up and slapped me, and then as I stood up, she slapped me again, and as I put my hands in front of me as to defend myself, that's when Rick took over.
What did Rick do?
He continued, well, he repeatedly punched and strangled and slapped and continued to beat me up.
Do you know how long it lasted?
Hours and hours and hours, repeatedly.
Did you go to the police right away?
No, because they threatened me that if I went to the police, they would have me killed.
Then when did you find the courage to go to the cops?
3 days after.
What happened? Why? Under what circumstances?
I had to go to Cedars-Sinai emergency room because of the condition of my face, and the emergency room doctor, the emergency room doctor summoned the sheriff's department immediately.
As soon as they saw you?
Yes, he said that whoever had done this to me did it with the intent to kill me, and that he had to summon the sheriff's department.
Remind us, what was Rick James convicted of?
5 years and 4 months.
And the young woman who was with him?
She pleaded guilty. 3 years.
But she's just been released, I understand.
Just last Friday.
So she served about a year?
Just a little over a year.
Do you fear that Rick James or his associates will come after you? Is that why you're in disguise now?
Absolutely, yes. Very much.
Does he have any money left to pay this judgment? I mean, I remember Super Freak, that song, but is he still getting money? Can he still...
Apparently so. He has money in royalties, etc., all over.
Okay. Well, good luck, and thank you for having the courage for coming here.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, that's Mary, ladies and gentlemen. A woman totally brutalized. We have her attorneys are here. They can tell us a little bit more about it as we get into the program. This is the latest. This is the hottest. This is the sizzling celebrity gossip and news. It is the focus of this live edition of Her Own. Steven Seagal, if that's true, then he sounds something like, I don't know, Rick James. Maybe that's very, very unfair. But you're William Blackwell?
No, I'm James.
Okay, James, but you're one of the attorneys for the young lady, Mary.
That's correct. Yes.
How did you manage to win so much? Do you think it's a fair settlement?
Well, I think the jury always does the right thing, and the jury did the right thing in this case.
This is in the Rick James battery case, ladies and gentlemen. The young lady is still backstage.
You have to remember Rick James and his girlfriend were out on $1.5 million bail for another beating of another woman and an assault when they beat Mary up. And they didn't care about the bail. They didn't care about anything. They only cared about whatever gratification they got from it.
Part of that was, in fact, that they were freebasing cocaine. They were coming down from the cocaine. Rick James had a 25-year history of using cocaine, and it was totally unanticipated. As he explained, when you use cocaine and freebasing, you get very quiet. Mary was there for a business meeting. He started to come down, and the kick is what set everything off.
But she fears he's going to kill her.
Absolutely. She wears disguises every time she goes out.
Poor thing, she talked to me in the dressing room before the show. She was scared to death.
She's worn disguises for the last 2 years and constantly looking over her shoulders. So,
Mike, what do you got?
This is right